1986, 26th of March, Sridhar Maharaj appoints his Rtvik successor. Sridhar Maharaj is one of the earliest adopters of the Rtvik Representative system. Born August 10th, 1895, nearly a year before our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Sridhar is at that time in 1986, he's over 90 years of age in early 1986. On Gaur Purnima, 26th of March, 1986, Lord Chaitanya's Mahaprabhu's 500th birthday, 500th Parents' Day celebration, Sridhar Maharaj announces that it's no longer possible for him to carry on maintaining the disciplic succession. He is becoming too old, an invalid. Previously, Sridhar had given management of his Chaitanya Math organization over to his leading disciple Govind Maharaj. And now, on Gaur Purnima, 1986, the 500th Appearance Day of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sridhar appoints his disciple Govind as his Rtvik representative, giving Sundar Govind Maharaj full responsibility performing Harinam, Diksha, Sannyas, etc. initiations. Sridhar Maharaj said, quote, "With this, I transfer these beads, and from now on, he will initiate on my behalf as Rtvik. The Rtvik system is already involved both here and also in the foreign land. The Rtvik is the representative. So if you want to take from me, and you take by his hands, then it will be as well and as good as taking from me." End of quote. Again, he said, quoting, "Henceforth, he will represent me in this affair, beginning from today's function. Now I shall go from here, and he will do the necessary. On my behalf, he will give Harinam Diksha, Sannyas, and everything." End of quote. This is from Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, Volume 1. In 1978, Srila Sridhar Maharaj was told by the GBC that Srila Prabhupada had appointed the 11 men to act as his Rtvik while he was present. They also told him that he had said that on his disappearance, they would have become regular gurus. So far, up till now, 1986, within ISKCON, the July 9th letter has still not been circulated widely. Not among the general devotees. No one is aware that Srila Prabhupada when Srila Prabhupada gave the names of these 11 men, that he had only appointed them to act as his Rtvik representatives. And that he had said nothing in that letter about them becoming actual initiating gurus. Still, here early in 1986, Sridhar Maharaj has selected his own successor. And he's having him act as his Rtvik representative. And he's actually specifically using the words Rtvik representative. Sridhar mentions that this Rtvik system is involved both here in India and in foreign land. Obviously, this is in reference to the system that Srila Prabhupada had set up. Recall that in July of 1977, Rameshwar, he did not send copies of the July 9th letter to the temple presidents, as Prabhupada had ordered, but he did send to the members of the GBC at that time. I don't know, but it could be that one of the GBC members may have given a copy of that letter to Srila Sridhar Maharaj. Obviously, he must have had a copy by then, or he wouldn't have said what he had just said. Had Sridhar Maharaj been given a copy of that letter back in 1978, I have no doubt that he would have reached the same conclusion as many of us have, and that is that Srila Prabhupada only wanted those 11 men to remain as Rtvik representatives, and he wanted that system to continue on for his society. Here in March of 1986, Srila Sridhar Maharaj has adopted the Rtvik representative of the Acharya system for his own ashram. Before many Prabhupada disciples in ISKCON of even aware that Srila Prabhupada set up such a system. This move by Sridhar that of appointing a Rtvik representative to perform the initiations on his behalf, that disturbed a number of his disciples and followers. Many proclaimed that the idea of a Rtvik representative was philosophically bogus, as they are doing in ISKCON for the past 40 years. Many of his followers also declared that that system is bogus. They tried to plead with Srila Sridhar Maharaj not to do this. But as we will see in a later timeline, it was over almost a year and a half later, in April, about a little over a year later, in April of 1987, how Sridhar most adamantly defended the system.